6 riders and 1 epic journey from the Pacific Northwest into the wilds of British Columbia and back. We are Ironhorse Addiction, and this is Season 8. Join us in this episode as we ride from Tacoma, Washington through the Olympic Peninsula and float our way to Victoria for a taste of Canadian hospitality. We began the way most big rides start. Early in the morning, headed to meet up with Hitch and load the trailers. Sorry guys, Renegade is a trailer princess. This is what you do if he's on the ride. But that's the trade-off. When you're chasing the Pacific Northwest from a long way out, you earn the scenery with logistics. Tacoma was our target, close enough to the good stuff that you can smell salt in the air, but still a real city where a crew can regroup, relax, and get their heads right before the ride begins.
Hey addicts, we just arrived here in Twin Falls, Idaho after driving for how many hours, Tanner?
Too many hours. I don't know, 13 hours I think? It's 13 hours.
We're stopping here in Jakers to have a little dinner. Check it out. We ain't here before, it's pretty good, so it's worth the trip back. Here's Hitch and the other part of the crew, they left us in the dirt.
We got lost. We took a 60-mile detour.
Yeah, you guys ended up in Windover?
Oh, something like that.
Yeah.
Took the scenic route.
Yeah.
Jakers has become tradition. Steaks, prime rib, and Idaho trout. Who cares about the trout? They got mac and cheese. Jakers is truly a comfort food lighthouse to the weary traveler. We're 2 hours away from enjoying the Pacific Northwest, specifically Canada.
Could you say he's a little bit excited?
Just when you think everything's rolling smooth, Hitch hits us with a confession. He forgot his boots. Not forgot his sunglasses, not left a charger, boots. The thing between your feet and the pavement. How mad can we be when it's this hilarious? This isn't the first time Hitch shows up without his boots. We laughed, we ribbed him, and then we do what crews do. We fixed it. All right, addicts. That's Mrs. Boss Hog back there trying to hide. Listen, Kennewick Harley-Davidson, one boot on display, no other boots, unacceptable. Renegade, how'd you like it?
Hey, they had motorcycles.
Yeah. You gotta do better, guys. Come on now. You gotta do better. And it's that type of friendship that makes this group work. A few stops later, Hitch bought himself his 3rd pair of boots in as many years. When we pulled in with the bikes, the trucks, the trailers, and all that chaos that comes with a rolling circus, the Meldrum stepped up in a way that makes you remember why community still matters. They helped us in a big way. Safe storage for our rigs, and the kind of hospitality you don't forget. If you've ever been on a long group ride, you know there's always a project that first night. Nothing's broken, but you know it could be better. For us, that project belonged to Jaws and a speaker upgrade. While the crew headed to the hotel to clean up for dinner, I stayed behind and watched Jared work his magic. All right, listen guys, as you know, Boss Hog has tried twice to take care of his speakers. Get them installed, right? I will say this, it doesn't seem like it's very difficult, but it is. Difficult enough that I trailered my bike all the way up to Bonnie Lake, Washington, where my good friend J-Rod, Jerry, will be installing the speaker for my ride around Victoria, Tofino, Whistler, and British Columbia. Now, if he can make this work, he's a genius. If he doesn't make it work, right? If he makes it worse, we got a bigger problem. If he can't make it work, I won't hold it against him, but Jared was up here as far as I'm concerned, and if he can't make a simple speaker work on a motorcycle, he's right here with me, which ain't saying much. So Jerry, make it work! 30 minutes later, I had Cicada speakers in and the junk stock speakers out. And after all that, I'm an idiot. I recorded the new speaker system using copyrighted music. Listen, I never said I was good at this YouTube thing. Anyways, now you'll have no idea how big of an improvement it was. Let's just say it's better, but still needs a much bigger amp. To show our gratitude to the Meldrums, we treated their family to dinner at the Mill, a top-rated steakhouse near Tacoma. The steaks were perfect, the sides delicious, but the company was what made it a meal. We swapped road stories and stuffed ourselves. You always need a great meal the night before a ride. Everything was perfect, and we were set for a perfect first day of riding. Then, the universe slid in and destroyed our highlight reel.
Hey. I started laughing. I was like, you need Jesus.
Please tell him about what he wrote.
GoPro or go not so pro? Well, this is a sad story. You know that feeling when you nail a moment, it's perfect and you can already hear the music you'll use for it later? That was supposed to be us rolling over the Tacoma Narrows bridge. Clean air, big water, bikes lined up like a dream. Seriously, if you're not from around here, that bridge corridor is famous in a not so good way. The original 1940 bridge, Galloping Gertie, was legendary for how it moved in the wind. Then it collapsed in one of the most famous engineering disasters ever filmed. So yeah, riding that stretch feels like you're crossing a piece of history, and we had it. We had the footage. Or at least we thought we did. Somewhere between hit record and arriving in Shelton, the GoPro footage vanished. Tacoma Narrows gone. The ride to Shelton gone. It's like the camera looked at our best early moments and said, nah, you don't get to keep those. Such is life, addicts. Sometimes you just have to roll with the punches and keep riding. Shelton doesn't announce itself like a tourist town. It feels like a working place, the kind of town where you can smell lumber and wet earth. We also learned that they have some good people here. Not good, great people here.
So check this out. We just got into, I don't even know where we're at. What's the name
Shelton.
of this town? Shelton, Washington. I forgot my gloves down in Arizona. I come in this liquor store. We had to stop to see where we're at. I come here to see if they sell gloves, and this guy right here rides. And he's like, I'll do you one better. I'll just give you my gloves. So that's pretty cool. People in Shelton are pretty nice.
We try to be.
All right.
I forget stuff all the time too, so.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna see if Tanner will put this on YouTube, and you're gonna be YouTube famous.
All right.
We roll out and almost immediately the landscape shifts. The air gets heavier like it's holding moisture. The greens get deeper, less pretty postcard and more alive. And the road starts doing that northwest thing where it curves so they preserve the best parts of nature. You know that feeling when the trees get tall enough that you feel smaller? That was Shelton for us, the last place that felt like civilization before the ride into the wilds of Washington. And the deeper we went, the more it started to feel like we weren't riding through nature. Nope, we were becoming part of it. This is where you stop thinking in terms of views and start thinking in ecosystems. Olympic National Park is not one experience, it's several stacked on top of each other. Coastlines, rainforests, mountains, and the constant sense that the weather is part of the terrain. UNESCO frames Olympic as a place of spectacular coastlines, lakes, mountains, glaciers, and temperate rainforest. Basically, it's a sampler platter of the Pacific Northwest's greatest hits. And the rainforest part of this park has real weight to it. The National Park Service notes that Olympic's rainforests and coast average roughly 140 inches of rain annually. That's not just a stat. That's why everything looks like it's been polished. The moss isn't decoration. Moss and ferns blanket the surface like the forest is wearing a coat to keep warm. This environment is truly unreal for the desert dweller in me. Addicts, we are only touching the surface when it comes to exploring Olympic National Park. This is a vast park that stretches hundreds of square miles and includes arguably some of the most beautiful landscapes in the entire Pacific Northwest. At the end of this adventure, I'll provide a link to a previous video that explores the west side of the Olympic Peninsula. If you have not made it to the Pacific Northwest on the Harley, let's just say the FOMO is legit. As beautiful as this ride has been, the real turning point was when we were released from the towering trees. The road started aiming us towards a harbor, toward a ferry, and toward British Columbia.
The most beautiful girl in the world.
Port Angeles hits different because it sits right where so many Northwest stories collide. Mountains behind you, the Strait of Juan de Fuca in front of you, and that getaway energy where everyone in town seems like they're either headed into the park or coming back from it. And the harbor isn't just for looks, it's historical. Local history describes the place as built on or positioned on a natural harbor protected by Eda's Hook, an actual geographic feature that explains why this town makes a perfect port. Now, if you plan to take the ferry to Victoria, reservations aren't optional. The terminal gets busy, especially during peak travel season. Make reservations online before you head to the region, or you could end up like our friends we met from Calgary. This motorcycle crew of 25 plus had to wait on the sidelines while we sailed away. Boarding has its own rhythm. It's not like rolling up to a restaurant or gas station. It's more like catching a flight where your bike is the carry-on and your patience is the ticket. The operator says the sailing time is approximately 90 minutes, and it's described as a scenic run across the Strait of Juan de Fuca, about 22 nautical miles. That's long enough to feel like you traveled, but short enough to keep the excitement palpable. Here's the fun part. The ferry is basically a floating montage of beautiful landscapes. Taking the ferry adds to the ride, and even though the bikes are parked, the adventure continues. And just when you finish taking in the scenic views, the horn blows, so you rush down to your Harleys and get ready for what awaits in the harbor ahead, Victoria. Addicts, here's a pro tip for getting through customs. If you're the one driving the chase vehicle, when you get to the customs officer and he asks you if you're carrying anybody else's baggage, the last thing you should say is, "Yes, I'm carrying all the bags of those bikers."
I'm in customs jail. All because I'm hanging out with these guys. Victoria. It's the capital city of British Columbia, sitting on the southern end of Vancouver Island. It has that rare balance of government town dignity and ocean town looseness. You feel it right away because we didn't just cross water. It looks and feels like we crossed into an old world port with historic buildings and cobblestone streets. We checked into the Hotel Rialto. The hotel frames itself as a heritage boutique spot with an Italian flair, and it's positioned near Canada's oldest Chinatown and a stack of walkable shops and restaurants. When in Victoria, you walk, because Victoria is the kind of place that rewards walking, especially when your legs are still buzzing from riding. We hit Chinatown first for its historical sites.
Yeah, we're going to Chinatown.
Did you know that this
How
Chinatown
proud he
is the
is,
second oldest Chinatown
Everyone look
behind
at Mark
San
Hill.
Francisco?
Well,
The
they-
second oldest in the world.
When we put them in camps, they all came up here.
So it's very like a tour guide. Look at you. Actually, I'm a teacher and I teach a novel about this.
Oh, okay.
So I've been here to take pictures for my students to show them this is in the book. This is what
What's
we're
your
doing. Katerina.
Katerina.
Yeah.
Thank
Are you
you.
a teacher too?
No, do you mind if this goes on YouTube if
Oh,
it
no,
makes
go
the
ahead.
cut?
Put it on YouTube.
Okay.
So like,
Go ahead, make me
I hope
famous.
I haven't made a mistake though, but forgive me.
That's
yeah.
cool, though.
Yeah, but look at the little windows in there. Yeah, go ahead, enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where are you visiting from?
We're from Arizona.
Park Canada recognizes Victoria's Chinatown as a National Historic Site and home to this famous alley. Fantan Alley is North America's narrowest commercial street. So much to do and see in this narrow strip of old brick buildings. But addicts, this isn't why we came to Victoria. We came for the delicious food and hospitality that you can only get in Canada. Even though I was starving, Mrs. Boss Hog had other plans. She wanted to show the crew the old port as well as the hotel we all wish we were staying in, the Empress. Let's be real, guys. Boss Hog, he loves a good place to stay, but he wasn't about to pay $900 a night per room. One of the things that makes Victoria great is that there's always something going on, and almost any day of the year you can catch a live performance. After all that walking, the Irish Times is exactly what we needed. Talk about Irish classics like bangers and mash, shepherd's pie, and Irish stew, plus all the pub cravings. It leans hard into what writers care about most: food for the body and music for the soul. And that music piece matters because after the ferry and the walking, that live sound pulls the crew into one shared moment. The jokes land better, the stories get taller, and the trip stops being a plan and becomes a memory. And as perfect as Victoria felt, this wasn't the destination. This was the doorway, because in the next video, we point the bikes towards the remote edges of Vancouver Island. Next time on Ironhorse Addiction, we are riding to Tofino with another YouTube channel called Island Pacific Boys. And they call this island home. This is where our Vancouver Island story becomes real. Until next time, live life at 100 miles per hour.